What was your result? but that would actually stall the motor.
Interesting.
As soon as you let the pressure back off, you take off again, but if you held it too long, it tripped the breaker.
Yeah, they were probably holding it on.
But again, thank you for telling me.
Yeah, of course.
Sometimes the crews don't. That's we go on.
Why some of
Restart. Okay, guys, time to call the meeting, CRFR Board of Directors, board meeting to order on February 12th, 2026 at 6 p.m. Calling the meeting to order. Let's do the flag salute.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, any changes to the agenda?
I would like to add one thing under new business, or if we talk about declaration of support for C911. If the board will entertain that, so we can discuss it with new business.
Emergency declaration.
And then emergency declaration was the change.
Got that one. Okay. That's it.
Yes, sir.
Any correspondence?
No.
Okay, public comment. We
Francine
have-
Pearson.
We have some new faces in here tonight, so.
I didn't bring enough of this for everyone. I'm assuming you want your second reading have one. Oh,
I will gladly.
Yeah, we can share between.
Yeah.
A couple stacks. Maybe I can share.
Yeah, of course.
here's one for you. It's just basically the content of what I'm saying. Yeah,
Thank you, ma'am. Careful.
yeah. I'm Francine Pearson. I live at 314 South 15th Street in St. Helens. Before I start, I want to tell you that I believe the Columbia River Fire and Rescue gives excellent care to the people of our community. I believe that the charges that are submitted for the care are reasonable. I think the VA is a little unreasonable. On April 6th of last year, I had a heart attack. I was at home. I didn't know it was a heart attack. I called the VA, asked a nurse. She called 911. CRFR promptly responded. They ran an evaluation, ran an EKG, loaded me up, and at my request took me to the VA hospital. The whole time I was being treated, one of the responders was tracking everything on the tablet. That's kind of important. My husband provided them with my VA patient ID and my Medicaid card. Providing the Medicare card proved to be a mistake for us. The next day, I called the VA billing department to notify them I had received community care. That's what the VA calls it anytime the care is provided outside of the VA facilities. I thought that was the end of it. For that was not so much. The VA requires notification within 72 hours of any community care activity. On 1/26/26, I got a bill for $164.90. When the VA pays for community care, there is no balance due for any service. Providers sign a legal agreement with the VA at the time they accept whatever it approves as payment in full. I called the CRFR, spoke to Kate, and she told me all billing was done by an outside provider in Silverdale, Washington. Gave me a phone call to reach them. I called them, got the message. I heard back from a lady named Tar from the billing company. She returned my call on 1/27. I asked her why I was being billed for this, and she asked if it had been billed to the VA. She looked at my account and said that the VA had been billed, but the bill was denied because they hadn't been billed within 30 days window the VA requires. She went on to say that other VA locations provide a longer time frame for billing. She explained that she had sent the bill to Medicare. That's why I got the bill, because it was billed to Medicare. I asked why it hadn't been billed within the 30 days allowed by the VA. She said it takes longer to get the billing information than the 30 days allowed by the VA. I asked why that was, and she said she didn't know, but we need to talk to CRFR. I called Kate at CRFR again and left the message. She finally returned my call on 2-3. She told me it takes that long to gather the information and communicate it to the billing service. I asked why. She didn't have an answer. I told her this was their fault, not mine, and I wasn't paying the copay. When I called the VA Community Care Billing Office, this is all done at a national level. It's not done at the regional level, as I was told by Tara at the billing office in Washington. It is done on a national level. It's what the lady told me, named Megan. The call reference number, I have it in the sheet there, said that all community care services had to be billed within 30 days. She told me that the private provider can initiate a request for review and essentially an appeal on the denial. When I asked when the bill submitted, she said it was submitted on 5/20/25 and processed on 5/21 with that denial. My problem with all of this is multifold. Why did it take so long to submit the bill? And I've since found out just today that they sent it in the timely manner, but it was missing some kind of cover sheet or something that has all the information on it. Went back through it. Essentially, the billing company did not follow up on the bill to finally get the information so that they could process the claim. So the comments I have on my sheet about it not being, it was done timely by CRFR. The problem is with the billing company. The VA is notorious for having low rates that they approve. Or perspective on this, in our community, bills for $1,000 for a routine care I received, they paid $92 from the VA. When I asked him why he continues to do business with it, he said it's because our veterans deserve best care. The solution to this is simple change in process, communicating the information to the building subcontractor in a timely manner, which, like I said, the problem is that with the billing service, because it was passed along on 4/9. Medicare also approves very low rates, but generally generally higher than the VA. I believe that the real reason this wasn't submitted they weren't worried about submitting because revenue from the Medicare is higher than the VA. My experience is not unique. I have at least 10 other veterans I've spoken to that have had similar experiences. I have comfortable income. I can afford to pay this bill. But it's not just me, it's about the other veterans in our community. When I know has an income of less than $1,000 a month, she lives in subsidized housing. And if she were faced with a $149 bill, it would be a choice between paying that bill or eating food. I believe our veterans deserve better with this, and the CFR is ultimately responsible, even though it's the billing office's problem. There's no excuse for a bill being submitted late, and I want to thank you for allowing me to speak.
Thank you for your service as a veteran, obviously. We will definitely, we'll talk about this kind of offline and then, yeah.
Kate at the office has been very good about responding to me. And like I said, there was information she sent to me today that I found it was submitted to the billing office in a timely manner. The problem is between them and the VA. Thank you.
Well, I appreciate your time. Thank you. Local 3215 report.
Super quick, we're entering into negotiations time. Last year it went really good between administration and the board, and I hope to continue that relationship this year. Wanted to call the board's attention to kind of how incredibly busy things have gotten. on the line. 2 tours ago on A shift, we ran 53 calls in 48 hours. I know that Scappoose had to cover a lot of those for us because we just don't have the staff. Not sure what the fix is. I know that we're trying to hire more people and get on it, but our union members are working their tails off. And I want to give a shout out to them for working as much overtime as they can stomach to kind of keep things going. Other than that, we don't have anything to report. Does the board have any questions of the bargaining unit?
Nope,
Okay,
not yet.
okay, thanks.
Thanks, Dustin.
Unless you're taking a cut and pay, I don't think we have anything to talk about yet.
We're not negotiating.
Okay, volunteer report.
I don't believe we have any volunteers on. Do we have anybody on, Kate?
Okay, consent agenda, minutes from board meetings, January 8th of 2026 financials.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Any discussion?
I don't have my chief, it was lexicon.
Lexicon is IT. This is driving course software. That's the driving course software, Lexicon, the training.
Possibly on key safety, but they go by the name.
Was it EVOC?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. What was the charge?
3,600,
Yep,
That
that's it.
was a job.
It's 71.95.
71.95 is life assist, the one right
Oh, I'm
below.
under, okay, I got the line across, 3,600.
We get your ruler.
They've got my glasses in. Your glasses. They're just readers, cheaters.
Are we going to tablet command here as well?
We are.
Okay.
And I was gonna talk about that chief's report.
It's really good. It's got a couple bugs still, but we're working on it.
Okay, we done talking, make a motion to approve the consent agenda? What? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All in favor or opposed? None. Okay, it passes. Okay, the chief officer's report.
So I'll try to keep it short. So I don't want to talk about the fire, but so to Director Zimbrick's question. So we're going to tablet command. So CCOM is moving away from a software that we normally get our CAD data. Our folks receive the information regarding the call. They get the CAD notes. And unfortunately, that's going away in end of March or early April. I can't remember the date. So they've been telling us for the last 6 months. So Scappoose Firehead did some beta testing along with Clackamas, right? That has it.
Clackamas already had
Yeah.
it, and then, showed cheap it.
So it's a software that allows us to operate on scene. We can see where apparatus are. We can know when they're in service, out of service, whether they're responding to a call. We'll do a presentation once we're done with the training and we can show the board what it is, but it allows us to get that data. And so it's kind of a culmination of everything you see tonight. So the surplus stuff, we have some old iPads. We're getting iPads for our vehicles that allow our crews to utilize that information and be able to use tablet command, whether it's one of our Division 9 cars or an engine or one of the chiefs. So it's a program that is not based on an IBM software platform, so we can use a iPad, which is substantially cheaper than using the MDT. So anyway, it's a bonus, and it's going to fill a void that our organization has had for a long time. So Scappoose has been using it for a little bit. They've been still training. We'll start training later in March, right? Early March. March 5th, we'll start our training. We'll start training our officers and crews. We'll do a kind of a basic crawl, walk, run. And so it'll probably be before it's fully implemented, probably May is what I'm guessing. I'd like to see it by May 1, but we'll see how it progresses. What I'd like to report on is currently we had a fire Tuesday morning at LBTC in our training room building. One vehicle was destroyed. We are working with SDAO and several contractors. I will have a timeline on some things. We just don't have it today. I mean, it's only been 2 days. So by our March meeting, I'll have a timeline of an expectation when we think we're gonna get some things replaced, make that building operational again, how long it's gonna take. We just don't have it today. So, no injuries. Luckily, none of our folks were hurt. We are down the AC, the SCBA compressor is in the building, so we lost our until that is inspected by Ellen Curtis. Most of our packs are quite dirty, so we're cleaning them. Chief Wonderly's working through our turnout gear that was, either damaged or at least smoked up. The rescue, the engine 479 and the boat all appear to be functional. There's gonna be a cleanup and decon on both of those. The boat, fire rescue boat 70 is going back to the shop anyway, for an issue they had that the manufacturer has to fix. And so we're gonna have them just go through the whole boat while it's down there because it was next to it. We lucked out when the ambulance did catch fire. It went through the doghouse because it's a van type ambulance. So the motor's sitting between the seats along with the transmission, and the back doors were open. So it created a chimney effect at the motor straight up and then a blowtorch out the back and up to the roof as well. So structurally, the steel appears fine, but there was damage to the insulation and some of the tin on the roof. And so they're gonna have to pull all that off to get the insulation off anyway. And the best guess is estimates probably 6 months before we're back operational fully with that building. I commend our staff that we have done our due diligence to hire personnel to get our staffing back up. And it is a process, and they're well aware how long it takes for us to get these folks through not only backgrounds and physicals, but then get the training. Chief Warner and Chief Rossberger working to get them through as quickly as possible. And the goal is to have us back up to our 30 here, hopefully by early May. We do have one retirement that is effective at the end of March, which is Lieutenant Barbalitos. He is effectively retiring on March 31st. So that will create an opening, and we're going to have to hire an interview. So we'll drop to 29 because of his retirement. And currently we have one individual off on long-term disability. We're hoping to see him back. Talked to him today, and it looks like there's a possibility if he keeps feeling better, he might be back by the 1st of April. So some positives, and I give our crews, we are, as Director Zimbrick knows, Columbia River gets hammered, especially in St. Helens, and our Division 9 crews and our engine companies are out running around and taking calls and taking these folks to the hospital. It is a lot. I don't know what unzipped or who somebody flipped the switch in St. Helens, but we have been running a ridiculous number of calls. On average, they had a 53 on a 48-hour shift, and we're averaging over 20 a day, and it's a lot. So our folks are working their tails off, and I appreciate everything they do. So again, thank you for that. I am more than happy to answer any questions you gentlemen might have.
Are we know the cause of the fire, or is there investigation being done?
OSFM is conducting the investigation because it'd be no different than an officer involved event, right? So we can't investigate our own.
Yeah.
So OSFM sent a very good investigator out. She did a fantastic job. She had the preliminary, but I'm going to reserve that until the report's written, and then I will present it and we will put it out for the public to understand what happened.
Okay.
So I know, right now, generally it seems like 911 go, and then if St. Helens is chasing, they're gonna chase part 3 in the engine. Is there a reason we're doing part 3 chasing versus like trying to leave a medic back during?
The lieutenants have been given latitude to make those decisions. If medic 2 is in, medic 492, or second correction, medic 472 is in quarters, there's apparatus. So if we have other vehicles or other apparatus that are available, they can't. Again, we have had multiple events where we've had structure fires where that engine company has showed up because they were on the engine and not in the ambulance having to go back to the station. So it's hit and miss. And Lieutenant King.
If I can help, it depends on what the staffing like in St. Helens that day. If it's like a typical A shift where I only have one paramedic and I'm chasing Fairgrounds, who is a basic and a medic, I need to bring that paramedic with me. And I'm not going to send them off in the brush by themselves to leave the park out, even if they got to take a rider.
Okay.
So if it's a 2 paramedics at Fairgrounds, the basic lieutenant, I'll go alone because there's 2 medics and I can drive them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's to try to make sure that there's a backup medic on whatever we're chasing on is the reason we go 3 versus taking a brush with 1 most of the time.
A lot of the folks that we're hiring, and this is probably across the board, across the country, are brand new paramedics. And I thank Talitha and Emily for, taking some of these folks on and running them through their FTEP, but they're brand new paramedics. They have not had, other than their field time, but through going through paramedic school, they have very, very limited experience. On average, I would say we probably have 1 or 2 code 3s a day, where at least 1 or 2 code 3s a day, where our folks are going, and sometimes they're taking a rider. And so, it's going to be, we're going to have a very young department and very limited experience. And so having senior paramedics that have got experience to teach them and help them and guide them is paramount to our success for our people. So it's gonna be hit and miss, or I mean, there's some days like Lieutenant King said, if you only got one paramedic, there's not much we can do with him running around by himself or having that paramedic be left behind. So as we move forward and get our staffing up, a lot of our people are new. They won't have as many vacation days, and so there's gonna be more days where we have more people on than we don't. So that's going into summer.
Question I've been feeling a lot at work is the whole, why are they going part 3 and not saving the medic to possibly go on the next one? So,
If I can do it, if I have 2 paramedics, I'll leave them behind, or if I can give fairgrounds, or if it's to leave them a basic, I gotta bring a medic with me so they can have another one. But if we're down, like often days, there's 1 medic on theirs, 1 medic on ours, and 1 medic at fairgrounds,
yeah.
we gotta bring everybody.
Okay, cool.
I have my CPR card if you want me to.
All right, Ryan says he's gonna jump in the medic with you, so I go hospital.
Your wife was saying.
You'll be the mouth guy.
Whoa, whoa.
Don't tell him that.
We need him. I don't want him getting sick. Any other questions, gentlemen? Thank you, Lieutenant King.
Thank you. Old business. Okay, new business. We have, resolution FY 25-26-07 surplus equipment. It's about electronic devices.
So we have some iPads that are past their iOS. They do not support some of the programs that we're trying to run, like the Tablet Command and a few others, and they can't be updated. They're literally 5 or 6 years old. And so what we're requesting is that we could surplus them and either turn them back into the manufacturer or donate them at some point to, an organization that can still use them for Indo reading, or, some program that they still support.
I'll make a motion for resolution FY 25-26-07 declaring surplus equipment.
I'll second.
Do I need to read a little bit or no?
I don't think so, sir. I think we just discussed it's 12 iPads and let's see back here. One Surface Pro.
Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay, so, on the vote, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, all opposed, none, okay. We'll go ahead and sign that. Okay, then we got the emergency declaration for, with regards to the LBTC fire.
So I spoke to Miller Nash, our legal counsel. The board can make a vote to declare emergency for the loss of the LBTC / Fire Station 479. And the reason that is the loss of the equipment, the loss of the compressor. And what this allows is, if the board chooses to make an emergency declaration, it allows us a little more latitude when it comes to getting companies in here to get stuff cleaned and begin it without having 90 days for the request RFP to clean it. We don't have, there's some things that we are still required to pay fair, what's the prevailing wage? There's all those things there, but it allows us to do stuff a little quicker versus the normal process of, we have to open RFP, we gotta wait, 60, 90 days, then we have to review it, then we have to, it allows it. So if the board chooses to make an emergency declaration, you guys can. I asked if we needed to have it as a resolution. She said, no. One of you guys can make a motion, somebody seconds it. If you choose to do it, it just allows us to have a little more free hand on getting this done quicker than going through the normal process, like you're building a fire station or doing an addition to it.
I'll make a motion for the emergency declaration for LBTC or station 491.
I'll second.
479. 79.
I'll shut it up.
At the end of the day, this is gonna be an insurance claim, right?
It is absolutely an insurance claim. Yes, sir.
Okay, so,
But it allows, without having to, so even with insurance, even with SDAO, and they're working very close. Like I said, our March meeting, I'll have a very good timeline, because we'll have time to actually develop it and find out how long it takes for a clean crew to come in, or the repair crew that's gonna have to tear the stuff off. We're gonna have to move our volunteers and their lockers down to the St. Helens station while that's going on, because the roof's gonna get torn off and they're gonna be doing a lot of work to it. It just allows us a little more latitude to speed that process up versus having to go through a normal bidding process to get things done. We're still required by ORS to meet prevailing wage and ensure that we're, that we have documents for everything. It just allows a little more expeditious manner to get it completed.
It makes sense in this.
so because I don't know, but like, I had a leaky, pipe in my house, and ServPro came out in like 24 hours, and like, you call the insurance company and they're like, they send somebody. Was there any like water damage or anything like that, or was it just fire and?
It was primary fire damage. The crew did a very good job. We didn't have much water upstairs. We really had, but the heat and smoke clearly rose. The building's about 22 feet tall at the peak, maybe 24. I was looking for the plans, Rick. I was gonna ask if you knew where they might be, but City of St. Helens found them for me, so I need to get those for the contractors to look at, because they want to look at the structural members. They do believe there might be a couple purlins they have to replace that were directly above it, but ultimately, yes, they have companies that can do it, but if normal process would be 3 bids, we have to award it. And so this allows us to do it a little faster than necessary, because it was an emergency declaration.
Makes sense to me. Yeah. On the floor.
Okay, well, all in favor? Aye.
Thank you, gentlemen.
None.
And we will have a timeline for you guys next month.
If we need a special meeting, then you can just let us know. I feel like you could all make that if we need something for that building.
SDO has been very, very helpful. They route that morning. They had a contractor out. They've talked. We have different adjusters for different things, the vehicle, building, and the equipment and the materials that were inside the building. So Chief Wonderly, Jeremy, working closely with them to get this done as quickly as possible.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's a devastating blow. That sucks. All right, real property transactions, ORS.
I think he.
Actually, I didn't.
Close executive session.
No, before the closed session,
911 support thing.
if the board would like to make
Oh, okay. Declaration of support for 911.
so if you guys, I know, I'm aware that Vernonia is doing it tomorrow night. I believe Mist is as well. So basically, if the board would like to just make a declaration, if they support Columbia 911 and our 911 system, I think it would go a long way with them as they go about their stuff and what they're trying to do.
This is for their, going out for their bomb.
They're like,
Is that it?
that's it. The other fire, and I do, I need to go back after this. So yes, it would be for supporting 911, and hopefully they're successful and they can continue to provide the services that our community sorely need.
I'll make a motion to declaration of support for Columbia 911.
On the second one.
Discussion. I think kind of speaks for itself. It's 911, right?
Yeah, I appreciate all the work they do for us.
Yeah.
And
I
people,
think if they need anything else from us, let us know. So
yes, sir, I will do that.
starting to do.
I believe you will see Jeremy Hypes. He will probably come to one of our board meetings. He might be at the March board meeting. So March or April, we'll probably see Jeremy here asking for that, and we can make that statement. You guys can talk about it then too.
Yeah, we got him last night.
Did you? Okay, so he's making his rounds.
Gotcha.
Can I have one go back, sir?
Of course.
So there is a meeting on February 21st. It is a Saturday. I believe it's 9 a.m. I will confirm. I would like 2 board members to attend. It is a countywide, every fire district is sending 2 board members to do a meet and greet to basically open up dialogue on where do we see the county going in the fire district which we serve. And so if you would like to designate 2 board members, sir, I would recommend that it's going to be at least a 3 or 4 hour event. We're gonna have food, but it's more of a meet and greet. We've never had one of these, and so the 2 board members can come back and report to the board at the March meeting what transpires. But every fire district's going to send their fire chief and 2 board members to it. It's going to be here at night at C911. I believe it's 9 a.m., but I need to confirm that.
I can be available.
see another one. So anybody else wanna,
I'm on shift, but if somebody else wants to do it, they can go. If not, I can probably put in some comp time.
I'll do it. 9 a.m.
9 a.m. I will confirm if it's gonna be you and Mark, I will confirm the time. And then it's just we meet and greet. We've never seen all the board all the board have a representation, but it's, Chief Pritchard's trying to get a moderator. And so it's just gonna kind of, where do we want to go? Where do we want to be? And where do we see Columbia County Fire? Meaning all the fire districts, where do they think they're gonna be in 3 years, 5 years, 10 years down the line? So this is the first time we've tried it. We talked about the fire defense board. So I do appreciate both you guys going. There will be food. I will text you guys, early next week on the exact
But
time.
it's for sure the 21st.
It is the 21st.
If we'll ever reach the campaign, let me know at all. I can look at, take them up a couple.
I'll remind you both too. And then if not, I'll call.
Give me 24 hours then.
I'll give you,
That's-
I can do that, Austin. I can do that.
Okay. So the declaration of support,
We need to vote on that still.
Okay, so all.
Sorry, I thought you guys did. So I'm not, so bad, sorry.
That was just a long discussion.
All right, so all in favor?
I,
Aye. All opposed? None? Okay, now close executive session, real property transactions, ORS 192.6602F.
Yeah, just not. Hey, we're coming back out. There's more comments, so it's you guys.
Same decisions.
Sarah said, no, we just make one big station. Oh, this is what the single look is. Because we, just at the.
And how that goes.
To the polls. Yeah, those are so private. So only if we got those, we do something that. Like,
Okay,
or just demolish that.
so we're done with new business. We did close executive session. Any board members' comments?
So that come out of.
Oh, we're now coming out of executive session. It's 18:46. And, now any board members' comments?
That could be just.
I don't know. I would like to thank the district and everybody for getting so quick on that. It's unfortunate that we had the fire, but I went and saw it Wednesday morning, maybe it was Tuesday morning after it happened. And everybody's on the ball, contacting insurance companies. I really appreciate that.
Thanks. Okay, wanted to thank, Francine Pearson for coming in and, talking about her complaint. It sounds like, we all care about the, our community. I don't care if you're a veteran or, well, let me rephrase that. It doesn't matter if you're just on the street or the mayor. I don't care. Every person in our community, is valuable. And so, yeah, that was, that's kind of crazy, but anyway, I'm sure we'll get down to the bottom of it and we'll move forward and hopefully we'll give her an answer and then also the fire, at the training, that was a bad deal. And yeah, I think that's all I got. And thank you for Dustin for showing up and the two firefighters, paramedics. And that's it. Okay, any other comments?
No, sir.
All right.
Thank you, Dustin, for putting out the fire. Okay, good job.
Doesn't thank for not crying. I do appreciate that.
Okay, well, now it's 18:48 and we're adjourning the meeting.
Thank you, gentlemen.